Excel VBA client meetings can be nerve-wracking, particularly for us computer programmers. In this video, I'm going to review one of my recent client meetings and I'm going to give you 5 tips for better Excel VBA client meetings to help you get your Excel VBA project started in the right way. Today, you came around with loads of food.
Yes.
So I thought, Alan wants some Excel doing.
What else could it be?
So here we are. And so you're a doctor, right? This first part of the meeting I would call rapport building. Yes, when you go in, don't talk about technical stuff straight away. You need to talk about something else just to kind of warm up the situation, help you ease into that situation, break the ice a little bit. Now, what might this be? Well, I know about all of my customers. I know something that they like talking about. A sports team is a great one. Maybe your customer likes playing golf. Maybe your customer has a partner and kids and they love talking about their kids. What does your customer love talking about? Always have that in mind and talk about that first. Just warm things up and do a bit of rapport building. So why this Excel idea? You got to tell me what you're trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can go through it all. And in this situation, questions like what is the idea of this project or what are you trying to do? They're really good general questions about purpose that are going to get your client talking about the right things and crucially get your client thinking, oh, this person's not just a technical person, they're actually concerned about the general situation and they're concerned about me. I can take some notes as well. Yeah.
So I have recently rotated to another department. Okay. And this is quite a new department.
So you're in a hospital. The context is a hospital.
Hospital.
Right, yeah. Let's go from the basics. This is important. You've got to make sure you hammer down those important details. When your customer is talking about their situation, they're not going to mention the really basic stuff because they're working in it every day. To them, it's just obvious. It won't be obvious to us as consultants coming into that situation. So don't be scared to ask those obvious questions. If we're talking about healthcare, could be a doctor's practice, could be a clinic. There's even online provision for healthcare these days. So it's okay to say, are we talking about a hospital here? That kind of basic question is really important. Yeah, good.
As I'm a doctor, these people, what they do is they treat people every now and again. And so I've recently rotated to a new department,
Now, what I'm doing here is so important. I'm taking notes, which you should always do, of course, but not just taking notes anyway. I'm taking notes and the client can see my notes. I love this technique. It is so powerful. So you could do this just on your laptop, put your laptop in front of you and your client so you can both see your laptop. Even better, if you can project your laptop onto a screen, you can write your notes. That's going to have 2 really important effects. Firstly, your client is going to feel listened to. That's incredibly powerful. Secondly, and more importantly, your client can see your understanding of the situation. That's going to help get clarifications, help lead to more important questions. I highly recommend this technique for taking notes. I also love this setup because it brings something else into the meeting. You know, it can be quite intense, just you and your customer. So having something else to look at, and you can see how my client too is looking at these notes, having something else to look at can kind of draw this thing from the situation. Again, help break the ice and help everybody relax, lead to a better meeting. And then what kind of notes should you write down? Well, I recommend thinking in terms of issues. So anything that's going wrong is an issue. I recommend making all your meetings and notes issue focused. And you can see here, that's effectively what we're doing. Yeah, we've got some more general notes, but whenever my client says that this is a problem, I'm absolutely going to note that down as an issue. And you can see in that meeting how powerful it is for building your understanding of the situation. And if you wanted to go a step further, you could even prioritize those issues. And this is part of a problem structuring method called rich picturing, where we draw out the situation, write and prioritize a list of issues. Check out my video on rich picturing for this kind of client meeting. It's difficult for you, isn't it? Because you're in a hospital, you're meant to be caring for other people, and they're basically saying, "Can you just come and help out?" And
It's very
if,
difficult.
if
Exactly
you
that.
reject it, then they can be like, "Well, come on,
why
come
are you
and
doing
help."
it? This is supposed to be your field, but really,
Yeah.
all doctors should have basic skills.
Yes, yeah. So all doctors should be able to deal with a lot of stuff because it's just basic.
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
If you can show a bit of empathy in this way, so say things like, well, that must be quite difficult, or in this particular situation, obviously I know this person well, I'm saying, well, that must be quite hard to have to do that for one reason or another reason. So actually stepping into your client's shoes in this way and saying things like, it must be difficult to have to do something, that's a great way to show empathy, to build rapport, and also to get more important information about the situation. So what did you make of my 5 tips for better Excel VBA client meetings? Let me know in the comments below. I will get back to you. And now it's time for the next part of our Excel VBA real world development project. Can Excel VBA save the NHS? Let's get into it. Yeah.
So the most important is knowing who the patient is.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be a heading. That's important as well, right? Or is that an important piece of information?
What, the patient?
So the heading of what I would like people to see that this is what this system is.
Oh yeah, no, that's formatting and layout.
Formatting.
We'll deal with that later. We're just like, what data do we want?
Yeah. These things.
You're learning. Got notes, mate. Notes here. Make some notes, mate. There you go. Jeez, come on. Right. Anyway, no, don't worry. Right, patient.
So patient, and you got to know. So the patient always has a number assigned to them. So specific.
Patient number.
Patient number, exactly. Hospital number.
Technical stuff. Hospital number.
Hospital number.
Okay.
Patient.
Always use the client's terminology. So hospital number is the actual
number.
Yeah. Okay.
Hospital number.
Good.
Which is very important. So we don't need to type the patient in. Let's say if we do want to see a little bit more on the other systems we have. We can use the hospital number.
So silly question. That's not the number for the hospital. That's the number of the patient. Okay.
People don't ring that because then it's going to get some worried. I don't know.
I thought it might be a code for the hospital.
Oh, sorry, I rang Mozambique.
I didn't know you work in Mozambique. Okay. So third one.
Yeah. So then you've got to.
Yeah.
Okay. So next you've got to. I'm just going to say them. Maybe we can change it.
Absolutely.
Change the order.
Yep.
So we want to know what kind of referral this is. So as we were saying earlier about the advice, I said a bit earlier, maybe this could be advice, where we could just write it out and somebody can read it and implement it. Or we can have a review of the patient by ourselves. Or,
is that like a second opinion?
So the advice would be more like a second opinion, or we could just... They may ask for, let's say, is this medication good?
Yeah.
Right. And then we could say, no, you're not supposed to give this. Are you even a doctor?
Okay.
Or it's a review where they actually go, okay, this person needs to be seen by the specialist, our specialist team.
Okay.
So we have to actually go to the patient,
Yeah.
look at his
I see.
documents. That's
So advice could be done on the phone then, potentially.
Advice, what I was thinking, if it's even better, is that if we could get it on here.
Yeah.
And if it is advice, then the person who referred it can come and click on it and say, oh, look, the advice is out now. Oh, they just want me to do this. Let's document that and let's implement the advice.
Okay.
If that's something that can be done.
Okay, can you just go through that again? I didn't quite catch it, but
So
it sounded interesting. Seriously, genuinely.
So there's 2 types of where it's normally there's a couple of bad things about the NHS. Sometimes you have to ring people and get in touch with them. That's why a referral system is really nice. But you ring people and you either say, can you come and, as a patient who is unwell suddenly, can you please come and have a look at them?
Yeah,
and
that's a review?
That's a review. They'll come and see the patient, check them, get the stethoscope on, have a little listen.
Okay, it's still alive.
And or the other thing is to exactly go to the patient and give them a quick review. The other is to maybe you just go, okay, well I think you should, if you tried this and see if it works. If not, ring us back. Or if it does, good. We don't need to come and see them. And that cuts down a lot of the difficulty. Maybe if it's a review, they might not be able to review them today. So if somebody could just say, oh, I want some advice, we just get on the computer, type away.
I see. So a review's got to involve some arrangement to make sure, because you've got to physically go there.
But if it's important, of course, we've got to go and review them.
Yes.
But if it's advice, it's also important, but we can just type it in when we as juniors we just type it in.
So So the kind of referral, and then you want, if it's advice, you want to put the advice in there.
So right? We want to put the advice, and they want somebody to come and see that advice. Then, do you see what I mean?
Okay. But wouldn't you just give them the advice on the phone?
No, that's what I want to avoid.
Okay.
That's what I want to avoid, because hunting the person down is difficult. Often they're not on the phone.
Okay.
Or next to a phone. They may not be in the next day. You know how doctors work. They may not always on every day.
I see. So you want to log that here.
Log that there.
So the next time they're in, or
whoever,
or your colleague,
or colleague, somebody hands over to them. Say, can you please chase this? The advice should be out.
Okay, and then we need. Okay, has advice been issued? Yeah.
Yeah.
Being issued, and then advice issued by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't think of that actually.
And advice issued the time. It was issued date and time.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. Just put a date in if there's any automatic way that can.
We'll see what we can do. Yeah, that's all covered. Later in the series, keep watching, guys. Keep watching. Yes.
Keep watching.
How far are we in that? 17 minutes in. Okay, good. So that covers maybe the advice piece, but what about the review?
So the review, what I was thinking was maybe a tick box. Is there any way you can just press a button?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know how you see on websites.
Yes.
On your phone, we just click it.
I've seen
so
websites.
Then they can, but because they will. What I'm hoping is that they will.
Yeah.
They will take advice or review, as in the person who's going to refer it. What do they want? Do they want just some advice? Okay, that's fine. We can just quickly type in. Or do they want them to be reviewed?
Yes.
And therefore, we will then go and review the patient. And if we've reviewed them, does everything have to happen? Possibly. We might have to go tick later. We will review. Or we don't necessarily have to say, we have reviewed, because then we're doing a bit too much for them.
So if I was running this, I'd say if it's a review, I'd want to know, has review been arranged?
Yes, that's what I want.
Okay, and then if arranged, when?
Yeah. Yes.
When is it? Okay. Name of person who arranged it.
That's a good one.
You also want, right at the top here, you want the person who's created this referral as well, don't you?
I do. That's got to be. It's got to be there. Yeah. Because then it does hold a bit of accountability for the person who
created a referral. Okay, and then the name of person who arranged it. Okay.
I'll just sit back and now
and then person who did referral. Yeah.
The person who did the referral. Yeah, we can do.
Yeah.
Person who did the referral, as in
the person who actually went and.
So who is the name of person who arranged it? That's
the person who said, okay, we'll come and see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because they might be different, right?
Yeah.
It might be like Dr. Smith will come and see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you probably want those two people.
Yeah, I mean that's okay.
You tell me, mate. You tell me.
So the reason I might not want that is because it may not be the same guy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Well, it probably won't be.
It may not. To the person who arranged it, it doesn't really. As long as it gets reviewed, I don't think that necessarily matters. But I don't think that it's a bad thing, because it does hold. But it's just it might cause a bit of. Let's say if I'm not in, and they're trying to get in touch with me, let's say, they see me, I'm the person who arranged it.
Okay.
And then it might cause a bit. So I just want it to be a bit more.
Okay.
This is a department.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is a person contacting a department.
Because we wouldn't want any personal responsibility in the NHS at any time. Okay. It's all going to the group. This. Okay. If review has a review been arranged? Okay. When is it? Okay.
That's good. That's what I want.
And then
I want like an.
Yeah, go on. Go on. I felt good.
Gets in. It goes like.
Gets
inside.
It's in the wall.
Oh, there you go. Get it. So yeah, it's got to be. I wanted to know. Do they need an urgent? How urgent? If it's not so urgent, can we push that back till tomorrow? Because sometimes we can be quite busy on the ward round looking at lots of different patients. If it's not urgent, do we need to see them right then, there and then? Because often what happens is the doctor who asked me to go and tell the seniors that it is, needs reviewing, they just say it, and then we go and see the patient, and it's not actually that urgent.
And he was like, I thought you were coming next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's
Not an old patient sound like that, by the way.
No.
So urgency, yeah. So it would be, so how would you kind of categorize the levels of urgency?
I would just say urgent or not urgent. We're
Love
very
it.
technical in the NHS.
Love it. No,
That's a medical term as well.
That's all good. Okay, so we've got basic details. Yeah, we can start with some subheadings in here.
Oh yes.
So let's have basic details here. Control B, Control U for the people who like these keyboard shortcuts. Okay, and then these are the advice details. So you wouldn't necessarily be filling these in if you're doing a referral. Then you wouldn't fill in the advice. Is that right? If you're doing if you're doing a review, sorry.
Yes, you wouldn't. You just tick a box and they'll know that, okay, this isn't filled.
So perhaps we'll sort it out. Yes, yeah. What will happen is...
So the confusion to that might be, there could be a reason for the person who reviews it may think, no, this is better just to give advice. But I'm sure they can just fill in the advice part then, can't they? Maybe that's something to think about a bit later on.
That is something to think about, yeah. Thanks for flagging that up.
I do. I like flags.
So the review has been arranged. Okay, so this is the time of the date. Has it been arranged, yes or no? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the time of the day.
Yeah.
And then you need some details, what happened at the review, no? Like a little report about what happened at the review?
No. The reason why that is because it can get busy on the board. So if the person has been reviewed and it's in the notes, we do have, patient's notes as well. And then they can go back and just look at the notes and they can see, okay, this is it. They shouldn't, if we at least have ticked the top box there, the one you said, when is a review, and if arranged when it is, then they should know that's going to happen. I mean,
yeah.
And that will at least give at least reassures the other team as well that it's going to be seen. And if it isn't, why hasn't it? They can also come back to us.
Yeah, would you just want a box say, has the review happened?
No,
you don't need that. Okay.
Do you know why? Cool. Because
if I saw this, I'll be thinking, okay, has this happened?
So then they have to take a little because because at the end of the day, it is their patient.
Okay.
And they need to be proactive because that makes more work for us.
Yes.
So let's say we're busy and then we're going to go, we just reviewed a patient. Let's go back.
Like, you don't want to be working for the system. You want the system working for you. Yeah.
You know the words to say.
All over this.
So we don't want them to then think, because we're going to review the patient and do all these other stuff for them, let's just sit back and relax. Let's just put on the Excel sheet. Yeah, it's been reviewed. I'll go see that later. They have got to take a bit of accountability and go and look at the notes and see what the review said. And if it is a review, we as a junior should have done all the steps to help the patient anyway. So they can just go and look at it for fun if they wanted to.
Just for fun?
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Because we would have done the plan.
Yeah.
Because we've gone and reviewed the patient, we should, carry out what we need to carry out for that patient. They can go and look at it and see what the actual plan was and everything just for their own.
On a different system.
On a different system. They can go and look at that. The reason why I don't want that to happen is then they may, it's a lot of work, it adds work for us. I just want to cut down the amount of work. And And also it makes them a bit lazy.
Yes.
Some doctors like to be lazy. Not me.
Not you. No.
My bosses could be watching this.
If you've watched to the end of this video, you are my kind of Excel VBA programmer. Yes, you understand that Excel VBA is not just about code, formulae. There's a whole set of activities, including client meetings and project management, that help make an Excel VBA project succeed. I would love to have you in our Members Monday community. This is a weekly live stream with me, but so much more now. You get access to a community of like-minded individuals, a set of resources that are going to help you push your Excel VBA forward to professional level. It's a completely unique offering on the internet. I'd love to have you in our Members Monday community. Click join below this video for more.